So this morning we're here at Genki Koi for the third ZNA Koi Handling seminar, just getting started here. Adria has just arrived and Kevin's getting her set up to start handing out the raffle tickets. We'll be raffling off, he'll be raffling off a lovely show once we get going here. So we got everything all set up. Fortunately, we got the water in before they shut it down. We got a water main leak here, so things are a little touch and go right now, but hopefully we'll have a good day. We've got the show that we're going to be giving away here pretty quick.
No, I didn't say.
He's calmed down quite a bit now. He was roaming around there pretty fast earlier, but he's chilled out now, looking nice. So here we got some of the crowd before the event, checking out the koi at Genki. Had a good turnout from the Monterey Bay Club. They must have found something back there they like.
We're gonna get started right now. Last minute call for raffle tickets. Anybody that's in the club that hasn't received a raffle for the fish, this is the time. Last call.
I don't think your amp is on. I don't think it's on.
It's on. It's on.
Okay.
Hello?
Yeah.
So last minute, anyone?
Good to see you.
All right, we're gonna get started. So today's program is the third and the final workshop for koi handling and packaging koi properly. We had session 1 at David's house, and that was led by Rick Blazo. And session 2 was at Champion Koi. Tom led the workshop for that one. And then the lesson 3, or the final workshop, is going to be here, and I'm going to tie everything together. So today's schedule, we have Rick is going to review workshop 1 as well as workshop 2. We were expecting Tom to be here, but he's not here. So Rick's going to do that, and then I'll do the final. And then at the same time, we're doing something different. Is we have a talk from one of our hobbyists, from koi handling from a hobbyist perspective. Okay, and that's going to be led by Duke. So with that said, we're going to get started right now. Okay, Rick?
Okay, I think that the first thing that I brought up last time was to, when you're going to be handling koi, to make sure your nails are trimmed. A lot of times when you're handling koi, you may end up scratching them or taking off the scale, and it's mainly from sharp nails. So make sure you trim your nails. Second of all, which I didn't bring up last time, was make sure you don't have sunscreen on your arms or hands. And then the third, which maybe some of you guys didn't notice, is I had thongs on when I started, and it was in bare feet because I was moving fish and my thongs were very slippery. So sensible shoes. Socks are not important. You don't have to have koi socks or anything like that. Kevin, what fish are we going to be handling? Any fish? I guess he's not here.
I think we do.
Oh, is that what he's getting a fish?
Yeah. He's trying to catch them now.
Okay. So Kevin's getting the fish. We went a little bit over about catching the fish out of your pond. I mentioned that if you have several fish to catch, go after the one fish, don't switch to a different fish because the fish will tire, and if you go to another fish because you can't get the one you've been chasing, that fish will recover and you're going to have a hard time catching them all. So just always stick with the first fish that you want to go for. And normally I will pick the least favorite fish to pack first because it's going to be in the back the longest.
He doesn't want you to handle, he wants you just to talk.
Okay. So when you have the fish in your net, you would like to use a sock net to move it to a tank if possible. But hand is really, I think, the best because when they're in a sock net, they are fairly protected, but that slime coat can get rubbed off on that whole net. When you're handling with your hand, you're just touching them in a few little spots. And so you're actually, I think, going to have less slime coat removal, and that's a protector for the fish, so you don't want to remove the slime coat. When you're picking up the fish, you want to have your hand. Underneath the head, and I normally get the pectoral fin right in here. So if the fish is coming in, the pectoral fin hits right into my thumb and my fingers, and then these fingers are underneath in the palm of the hand to lift up the head part. Just in front of the anus is probably where you're going to have the back hand, so that it can go like this. When the fish is turning around, you don't want it to come out of your hands, and always have the head towards your stomach and the tail end out, so that if it does get loose, it hits you right here. Are we going to handle these ones?
No, we're going to do this for the workshop later.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So basically, when you're handling the koi, you want to lift them up so that the head's towards you and the body's here. So when it's turning like this, you can move your hand like this, and it can't get any propelling. It won't propel into you. Okay? And for backing?
Packing fish. It's a verbal review.
Okay. For packing, you want to put the bag. You want your bag to be the size of your box, basically, and of course bigger than the fish. You don't ever want to have a bag that's too small, where the tail fin will be curved a little bit, because you could break the tail. If the fish slams in when it's a little bit curved like that, you could actually break the tail right off. You want to have enough water to just cover the dorsal fin. You don't need any more than that. In fact, if it's a short trip, you can be just a little below the dorsal fin. Make sure that the bag is in the box right, where the corners are flat across to both corners, and that you fill the box with as much air as possible so that it's full. The air will actually keep the box in its shape too. So it's important to have enough air, enough water, and double bag, triple bag, sometimes a quadruple bag. Is there any questions? Because I don't really have a box to demonstrate with you right here, right now. So if you have any questions, please feel free to ask. They all got the lesson last time. Yeah. Bring out the boxes so we can start.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Rick.
You're welcome.
Handling, transporting koi, handling koi, packaging koi from and to is a very important part of our hobby. Okay, although we encourage you not to, handle them often, because you don't want to break the koi's pattern or habit. But you should know how to at least know how to handle koi, either with a soft net, with a plastic bag, because there's a lot of times you need to move the koi for treatments or for show purposes. It's good to know how to do that. So, I think Rick and Tom, pretty much the first two workshops pretty much covered everything. So today what I'd like to do is I would like to demonstrate it, basically it again. And then after that I would have Duke to speak about the from a hobbyist perspective, and then we can do the hands-on workshop. Anybody that wants to take a crack at it. Okay? So with that said, Duke,
Yeah.
we'll start with you.
Okay. You wanted to tell them the techniques or the?
Yeah. You want me to do that
Yeah,
first?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Rick, can you give me a hand?
Sure.
So I'm gonna catch fish. Okay. So again, a lot of the times you're gonna be working with either a 6-foot show tank or 8-foot show tank, right? In the show. So you want to have a net that's long enough to reach the other side. Okay, so that way if the fish is on the other side, you can catch it without having to bend over so much.
You don't want holes in your net.
Yeah. No holes in the net.
If you do get a hole like this, a good way to sew it up is dental floss. It'll last a long time and it'll really sew that up here.
Yeah. So, you know, the required equipment, of course, is a tub. You want a tub that's bigger than the fish, of course, probably around 4 to 5 inches longer or bigger than the fish. It's advisable. Otherwise, the fish will be fighting the tub. It's going to be fighting. It's going to want to jump out. So we don't like that. So the next thing, you know, of course, you have to have a net. Next thing, Rick, can you put the tub in the tank? And you want to fill the tub with water. And here's the trick, okay? So you want to fill the tub with water almost 3/4 like this. Actually a little bit more, but today we don't have that much water today. So the reason why you want to do that is when you catch the fish, you want to guide it to the tub, and what you do is you want the net on this side, you tilt the tub down, and the fish will slide right in slowly. Right? You don't want to handle the fish in, otherwise you're going to risk losing scales. Okay? So I'll demonstrate that right now. Quick.
Question, Kevin.
Sure.
So what's the level of the water inside the tub that you should keep to be like
Inside this tub?
Yeah, inside that tub.
It should be probably a little bit, 2 more inches
Okay.
higher. But we can't get more water because we don't have enough water in the show tank.
Mm.
Yeah. So what you do is you catch the fish from underneath, but your net is always towards the front of the fish. Okay? Keep your hand so that you can drive it, move it. You could move it either way, always in the front, right? And what you want to do, if you're by yourself, what you want to do is you want to guide it closer, then you tilt that, then slide it, you guide it in. Again, that's
The one that got away.
Yeah.
You just have to choose that net. You just have to choose that net.
So again, you want to glide it like this, underneath the water. Okay? And then like that. Slowly guide it in. You don't want to net it over. Okay? So
Basically, you never want to lift the fish in the net.
and then from here, of course, in the show, what happened is the benching team would handle the fish either probably with the sock net to be safe, with the sock net into here for the measurement, and then sock net back to the show tank. Okay, so the sock net. I have the sock net here. I like to use the sock net that holds water, because the one that drains the water, if it's a medium size or a bigger size fish, they're gonna fight the net. Once you get it out of the water, you're gonna lose a lot of slime coat from the mass, the density of the fish. You're gonna lose a lot of slime coat, and you all know that the slime coat is the first line of defense for infection, right? So you don't want to lose that. So catching the fish in a bowl, fairly simple. Again, the net. You can always use the net here to guide the fish, slowly to guide the fish. To guide the fish. You can move your hand. Okay? The head in first. And the trick is here. Once the fish is in, you want to lift the left hand up a little bit, get the water out. Okay? And use the top side to pivot the fish so the fish doesn't turn on you. Right? The fish doesn't turn on you.
He just did.
Just like this. Just like this. If it's a big fish, you want to hold it down here to get more leverage. Just like this. Your hand straight out like this. And then into the measuring tank, put a little bit of water to glide the fish out. You see? If it's a big fish, you want to have your hand in front of the head so it doesn't hit the wall here.
I notice
Right?
on your sock, it's a little different than some of the other socks I've seen that are all netted. Yours is more of a, what do you call that type of material?
Well, this sock is, there's many different types of sock net in the market.
Yeah.
You know, this sock net happens to be the Matsuda net from Japan.
Right.
It's very, very high quality. And
Right.
it can withstand very heavy weight.
Right.
Okay, and I like these kind of sock nets versus the other ones that are
I like that.
and then they have different rims for the size of the fish. Right? So once the fish is in the measuring tub, of course, you see that there's a ruler on both sides, and the way to measure is, what I do is, you know, always, if the measure is on this side, what you want to do is you want to you want to put your hand right in front of the head of the fish, in case it jumps. It's right in front of your your hand, right? So turn it, and then bring it slowly here. Your fingers are always like this. Web like this, not like this, not like this, like this. So you can cover as much of the fish to get the correct measurement. So in other words, like this, like this. Right?
18, 19.
So this fish is 19 inches. Okay. So when they're in the tub like this, either for picture or for short-term dip, you always want to be next to the fish, close to the fish, always looking at the head of the fish, the eyes. Because if the head is pointing this way, you want to put your hand here, or you want to tap the fish down. So the head, because the head goes up, it's going to jump. That's a sign of jumping. Of course, when you have a medication or you're doing a salt dip or PP dip, the fish is going to jump a lot. You want to have a net cover over the tub. Okay. Any questions so far?
Do you have tubs like this?
This?
For sale? Tubs like this for sale?
Not right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is a
Be a
measuring
nice tub
tubs.
to have, huh?
Kevin, is the net that you would put over this have an elastic around it to hold it tight?
Yes, it has the band around the side.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it has the band, and then you just zip the band.
Right,
tighten it.
sort of
Yeah.
tie around the rim like
Right.
that.
Yes. Okay. So I'm gonna handle the fish back into the tank. Like this was the first workshop. Okay. So now handling, this is the medium-sized koi. So handling medium-sized koi is different than handling small koi versus a larger koi. Okay, so basically the concept is the same, but the technique is a little bit different, right? So, we don't encourage you to, catch your fish every week just to practice handling fish, but you should, once in a while, when you have an opportunity to bring your fish up for photo or video or whatever, try to touch the fish, get the comfortable feel for it, touch the fish. That's the first step. Try to lift the fish a little bit, not out of the water, but in the water. You could lift it. Just get the feel for it. And then,
So the fish
just
also
practice.
gets used to it.
If you handle the fish long enough, if you notice, big fish are easier to handle because it's been handled by, hobbyists, by breeders a lot more time. So, they get used to that. Yeah. But, handling fish is, as Rick mentioned before, you have to either left or right hand in below the cheek, and your other hand right below the belly. And so when the fish is in the water, you want to feel it. You want to feel it, And then Rick also demonstrated that you could turn the fish around to disorient it, then you can handle. But there's one more other way to do it. You can actually use your hand in the front of the head and touching the two cheeks. You can move the fish back and forth like this to disorient it, and then you can lift it. That's another technique to do that.
And you disorient it, it's less likely to
jump,
squirm?
or to fight you. Yeah. So because once it's in the jumping momentum, that's it. It's gonna jump. So you want to disorient it.
It's going to have a temper tantrum.
Yes. So any question so far? Come on, don't be shy. I'm sure there's a lot of questions.
Show that technique. I've never
Sure.
seen that.
Okay. You see that?
Does that work with kids also?
You can try. So in other words, what we do is we bring more water in. This is as much as we can get in. So. Catching fish, again, glide slowly. Then tilt one side.
She sees where that hole is.
Oh, wow.
She knows. She knew.
So
You need a better net for the workshop. Otherwise, take days.
So Joseph, to answer your question. Oh, hey Tom. Okay, all right, come on. So to answer your question, Rick was doing this, this to disorient it, right? But You can also do this too. Let's say if the fish is swimming, you can also do this. Right hand or left hand, right? You hold here, and basically you moving the fish back and forth like this. Back and forth, back and forth. You see how it's moving back and forth? Back and forth. You see? Very simple. Once it's disoriented, you can handle it. Right?
And you kind of we're riding with it a little bit as
You have to ride with it. You
Yeah.
have to, like Rick said, you have to dance with the fish.
Right.
The fish is moving. You don't fight the fish. You
Right.
go with it.
Right.
You go with it.
Let it help move you so
Yeah.
that you can.
So,
Yeah.
did I answer your question?
Yeah, it's good.
Okay.
Never seen it. So.
Any other question?
At the edge of a pond, it's a little more difficult to get down there. And get it. Same principle. You just kind of try to bend down and pick them
No,
up.
that's too hard. You want to get in a good position where you can handle the fish. You don't want to be bending over or lying down. You can't handle the fish. So basically, when you're handling the fish has to be in the bowl. If it's in the pond, it has got to be in the bowl, and then you have to suck the fish into wherever you're gonna bring it to.
Okay.
Otherwise, you're gonna be bending down, and you don't
Right.
have that position to handle the fish well.
They'll swim away pretty quickly now.
You ever try to lift the bowl out of the pond? Like,
Lift the bowl with the water.
Right,
It's
with
just
the
way too heavy.
Yeah.
It's too heavy. It's impossible.
that's why my back's all hurt.
Yeah. you wanna make it easy for you, because once easy for you, you can handle the fish correctly. And when you do that, less chance of fish jumping out or things like that.
So
Or-
if your pond is 12 inches or 15 inches below the ground, you almost need to have two bowls.
Two bowls, yes.
One
One
Basically,
to catch it here,
to
and
catch it
another
in the
one
pond
with a sock net to
with
put
the
in
salt
the other
net.
one.
Exactly. Exactly.
Or you could bring it up with the net. Just bring the fish to the surface of the net. And just scoop it. Soft net. So you have two bowls or two nets.
Then you need
One
two people.
bowl outside. Yeah,
I
exactly.
don't think I can negotiate
If,
two nets.
in Tom's situation, you can do that because the Matsura net, what happened is it floats in the water. The long one, it floats like this, so the fish is in here. But if you by yourself, you can do that and suck the fish into the bowl. But if what was I gonna say? If you can put it in the bowl in the pond, is actually better. The reason is this: when the fish is in here, this net is not deep, so shallow. The fish will be fighting this a lot. So the belly of the fish will be rubbing onto the net here. So you may lose a lot of slime underneath, right? So it's better you do it in a bowl. But if you by yourself, you want to go in and sock net it in.
If you're by yourself, you can't sock net it because you can't.
Right, you have to have the
You
bowl.
have to have a bowl.
Yeah. You actually you can. It's just you can, for example, like this, because I'm sure Tom, Rick, myself, we do this all the time. Because sometimes we're just by ourselves and we have to do it. Especially on a medium or small size fish, what we do is we catch it with one hand, the other hand, just soak it in. That's it.
Very cool.
And then again, use the tank to pivot. Use the tank here, tank wall to pivot to get the water out. Either way, right? Either way, you can do it. And then pivot and then hold the fish straight, the fish body straight and up. Okay, any other question?
Very nice.
Very nice, thank you. Okay, so we have Tom here. Welcome, Tom.
Sorry, I'm
You
late.
want to do a quick review of packaging fish? Just verbal?
You mean for getting the box ready and all
Yeah,
that stuff?
the materials and things
Well,
like that.
you need some basic material, the oxygen tank, a good soft net, handling net, bowl, and either some cardboard boxes or cooler. If you're gonna do a lot of shows, you probably want to invest in some good coolers. It's a lot better than boxes, and of course some bags. We normally recommend double bags. Triple if the fish is bigger. And it's kind of hard to explain how to bag the fish without showing it, but basically you double the bag and then you fill it up with the amount of water you want, which is normally about half full or the depth of the fish, and then you scoop the fish in the box and then just tie it with the box sheet. I always recommend tying the bag to the full length of the box, so when it's in the box it doesn't shuffle around. and cover it and tape it up really good. Keep the fish in the dark. They don't like movement, so if you don't do that, they tend to get spooked. I think that's about it.
Tom, is it better doing with the cooler or put it in the bag and bring them?
Even with the
But in the
cooler,
bag
I
of the
recommend you bag it. Because in the cooler, you can't pump the oxygen in. And also,
And they
it's
knock
hard
the
to get the
sun.
fish out of the cooler. In the plastic bag, you can always just lift the bag up. And actually, the fish is less, there's less chance of the fish getting damaged in the bag.
What about the oxygen? Do you have like a little oxygen canister that you then have that you keep around? I mean, like for us at home, I wouldn't use it that often.
I know,
So
but I don't think they do oxygen canister, do they? Like those little aerosol ones?
I see Orchard Supply now has, you know, they're just like the propane bottle, or
Right.
you'd use it. You can get oxygen there now.
I've never seen that before.
So,
if
and
they
I don't
have
think they're that
that's
outrageous.
great.
So,
Otherwise, you would have to invest about $200 for a set, like the oxygen tank, regulator.
Right.
Yeah.
I saw these little aspirin-sized tablets that you can put in.
I don't know how well that works.
I don't think
Maybe
sure
for a
if it
short
would
ride,
work.
it's okay, but I don't think those tablets have enough oxygen to fill the bag.
It's probably, I forgot what it is, but it's sodium, there's something else that when exposed to water, it gives off oxygen in water. It's like hydrogen peroxide.
hydrogen
It's probably
peroxide.
those
It's
tablets.
not hydrogen, it's sodium. So,
Yeah, for a short trip, I would think.
Yeah, I think for a short trip is okay.
so Tom, when you've got the fish in the bowl, you put the water, you put the bag in, and you fill it with the water that's in the bowl, and then
yes.
just slide it over the head of the fish.
Yeah, you could do it that way, where you actually scoop the fish in with the water and then carry it to the box, or have the bag in the box and then fill it up with water and then move the fish into the box.
That's easy.
How
With
do
the
you-
soft bag.
Then how do you actually get the fish into the bag? Because the bag is now horizontal. You get the,
For a very large fish, then I would scoop the fish in with the water and then carry the bag into the box with another person. But for smaller, mid-sized fish, it's easier to fill the box. The bag inside the box first and then put the fish in. And normally it's easy to, if you have a stock net, you can just scoop it.
Go ahead and so just treat this as either a show tank at a show and your fish are in it, or it's a pond. It's your pond.
the fish is one thing.
No, we have water. We just use it's working, but there's no drink.
Fish is getting pretty well trained by now.
There you go. Slide it in. Perfect.
He says, "Okay, guys, I can do. I know this trick now."
and then just leave that in.
Well, you had to try it, it's going to be different.
Scoop in this way without worrying about the back of the net now.
Correct.
Yes.
Yes, that's another way. Yeah.
Yes, that's fine too. And then you want to drain water.
Very good.
I think I'm going to face you the other way.
Yes, sure.
He said depending on if you're left or right-handed.
Okay, it's a little longer on this side.
How come 17? It's shrink, man. It's shrink 3 inches.
It's shrunk 3 inches.
Shrink 2 inches since you're gone.
And you know why, right? Yeah, you want to flip it, the head go towards you. You got it.
There you go.
All
So
right.
you want to bring it up and close to your
Close to your
stomach,
chest.
just in case the fish jump.
Right.
Yeah, you can catch it.
That's a good
Right.
point.